Dr. B here. Please give it a listen, a watch. Fantastic Deals and Dreams pilot series. I interviewed a lot of folks in the real estate and or business world. I hope you enjoy this episode. Enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I'm here with the great Dr. B, here with the great Roy Coughlan. Is that okay? Did I say that
Uh,
right? Oh, there you go.
that's
Got
perfect.
it. Roy Coughlan. Good, good. Excellent. Hey Roy, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well, and thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thank you. Sorry for the delay there. Tell everyone about yourself.
So I'm Irish. I'm originally from Cork in Ireland, hence why you probably calling, because prior to recording you thought it was Coughlin, and I don't know why, but in the city that I'm in, we say Colin. Even the counties say Coughlin, and the rest of Ireland say Coughlin, and most of the world say Coughlin. But you do it what you're told, and your name is Colin, and I stuck to it. So I studied construction economics and management in Ireland. I was always entrepreneurial. And about 18 years ago, then I moved to a place called Łódź in Poland, done a lot of real estate, and I've had a lot of businesses over the years. I've had about 20 different companies. So, yeah, I class myself as a serial entrepreneur.
I love it. Good, good. Excellent. I appreciate that. So I'm a big believer in education. So how did the experiences at Munster Technological University and University of College Cork help you in what you're doing today, if at all?
Yeah, so it changed. So it was called RTC at the
Oh,
time. I went to it, Regional Technical College, but then they changed it to Munster. And
got
I
it.
studied construction economics and management. I did a diploma, and that's first a cert, then a diploma. And then I think in 1990, I finished that in 1993. In 1999, I did a diploma in applied project management. But I just continuous kind of study. I done loads of certificates and everything. I have a load of sorts in marketing and steam utilization and different things. And it helped me? I don't know. I got the PMP, which is the project manager professional. I think it opens doors, but I think a lot of the education is flawed. And sometimes some of the stuff that you do is obsolete. Like, for example, we did surveying, which is checking the leveling. And when we were doing it, everything was upside down and you had to work it out. Of course, when you come out into the real world, they didn't have old technology. So as you looked at it, you saw it. And I mean, obviously with a lot of the, I suppose, AI and just advancements in computers and everything, just look at what you're doing because sometimes people spend 6 years and it's obsolete when you come out. So have a think about what you're really spending your time in because there's times you could do a month's course that will teach you more for the real world. But does it open doors with a qualification? Absolutely. But does it keep you there? No.
Got it. Exactly. Similar to here, like the education that I learned in undergrad, do I use exactly today? I mean, I guess because I use some business was my major, right? And then even now at the doctor, I don't use every single little thing, but it did teach me about project management and all that. So that as far as doing papers on time and all that. So good. All right, man. So I'm also a big fan of volunteering. I see you volunteered on several boards, including like the Toastmasters, which we found in 2018. So, in your opinion, why is it important to give back?
Well, with the Toastmasters, because I had a fear of public speaking, and even when I was running big jobs in Ireland, working for a mechanical contractor, I always hated the speaking. So I kind of overcame that when I was in Poland and started going to a Toastmasters, then went to another one, took all the different roles before my own club, which was an entrepreneur role. And it was like I didn't want people to kind of go through the same thing because if you look at even a corporation, what happens is a lot of times the person that can speak in public gets promoted, and it's usually the quiet people are 10 times better. But because they're not speaking in public, they don't get the promotion. And it's like I just tried to help as many as I can. We done very well, actually. We got into the final of 5 countries. I was doing the humor speech, and another member got in for table. So we got into for 3 divisions in the final of 5 countries from my club. So it was very well, and I was mentoring a lot of people, and just I would highly encourage people to do Toastmasters, but like even public speaking, because I know you're doing the public speaking yourself, whether you're doing it online or whatever, a lot of times people can do public speaking, and which is great. You can make a good profession from it, but also try to see where you can help others. And just sometimes you might just go in and help an organization that mightn't have the skill sets of a public speaker, even if it's once a month or something like that. So use the skill set that you have to help humanity.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense, man. And I believe the Toastmasters allows you to practice that, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, absolutely. Good, good. All right, I'm gonna pivot to what we're here for, right? So you're you're the Podfather. How did that come about as far as being a podcasting coach?
Well, the Podfather and the podcasting coach are two different things. The Podfather came about as I help people do kind of podcasting tours.
Right.
And one guy, I got him on 250 shows, but when I got him on about 100, he says, "Oh, you're the Podfather." And I just liked it. And then I created a podcast based on that to help podcasters and to kind of stay in the game. And the coaching came about is like when I started doing the public speaking, the first podcast I did was the speaking podcast. And then I did, I have 6 shows. And I did workshops as well on how to start a podcast, but loads of people were reaching out to me going, "Hey, I want to start a podcast." And I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the process of teaching people, but it wouldn't get anything for it. Like they wouldn't even say, "Hey, I'll take you for a meal" or something like that. I thought they're not appreciating, or even people you met once or twice, they were kind of reaching out as if you were your best friend. And then I just decided, hey, I'm actually I've got a coach. I created a program. I said, look, if you want to start, I'm coaching, or just get an online program. And that's how it came about. I felt people weren't appreciating my time when they were coming along asking me to help them.
I love that. Good, good, good. Excellent. So they're two separate things. That makes sense. I thought they were intertwined, but no, they're two separate things. Good, good, man. So, what are some tips that entrepreneurs can leverage, for podcasting their business? How can they use podcasting in their business, or how can they use it as a tool to get clients? What's a couple of examples of that?
So one is sometimes people might think, oh, I need thousands of listeners to convert and the reality is depending on your business, you might only need 10 listeners because what you can do is you can invite the people that would be a potential client for you. And because you've then built a relationship, that's 100 times better than doing a cold call or writing to him and hoping that you can get him on a phone call. But if they'll come on your podcast, and people are usually happy to come on someone's podcast, it's a great way then building the relationship. And I mean, even like with me, I've got like forms that people fill in and they click, hey, are you interested in a virtual assistant? Are you interested in sponsorship? I never pushing the sale, but you're asking the questions, and you can do the exact same for that. And the other thing is like, yeah, there's different ways of monetizing, but the best way is if you're a coach or if you're whatever your business is, people are listening to your skill set, but make sure that you're actually saying it. Because sometimes there's podcasters out there and they don't even mention it. And you should say it what you're actually doing. Because if the listeners enjoy your conversations and enjoy your skill set, if they'll think of you, or even if a friend is looking for, say, a consultant for something or a coach for something, and that's why the podcasting then is a great way of doing it.
I love that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, as far as the inquiry form, you could have different things, and right, no, that makes total sense, man. I used it. Quick story with me. I started my podcast in 2020 during COVID, like almost everyone, a lot of people did, right? And one of my first seasons, I always mention this, so it's not a secret. I interviewed one of my, Carlos Medina, who's the president of the chamber here in Jersey. So I was able to interview him, tell his story, and eventually, when something opened up with the chamber, I was the first person, or one of the first people we called, and after that, the rest is history. So all thanks to podcasting. So thanks to
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant.
that. Exactly. Hey man, it's 2025, right? All right, we're recording in 2025. We'll drop this soon, right? So is it too late to start a podcast? Being it's a crowded market and a billion-dollar industry, is it you still see as a great way to put yourself out there as a thought leader, putting yourself out there as someone who's an authority figure in a certain business? Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, you get all different statistics of how many podcasts are there. You'd hear 4 million, you'd hear 3 million, but it's how many are active. So there's a load of people, they'll start a podcast, they do 3 episodes, they do 10, and they're gone. So that's part of this 4 million. There's active, they're saying there's 400,000 or whatever. And so it's not a crowded market. Just look at the population. And you can even do a podcast based on the area. Like I know people, they're trying to do the marketing based on getting clients to come in because maybe they could be acupuncturist or chiropractor or something like that, and then just interview people in the area, but also market to that area. So, and there's so many different sectors. And the other thing is, sometimes people think you need to be a specialist to do it. So, for example, one of mine is the crypto podcast. I understood a bit of crypto. I read a few books and I was like, I don't get this, but I saw a lot of scamming. And I have learned so much from guests coming on. I mean, it's not that I don't do the research. I have all the different questions and I listen, I'm understanding what's going on. But based on people coming in. So you don't have to be an expert in the field. You can set up a podcast with a curiosity mindset and go, I'd like to learn about whatever the topic is, even comedy. There's so many genres. And there's so many different people there. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts. It's not as if, oh, each person listens to one podcast. Some people listen to 20 podcasts. So it is nowhere near saturated. There's plenty of room at the table. So I would encourage everybody, if you've got a skill set, bring it to the table, or if you've got a curiosity, bring the right people to the table.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with you there because I think sometimes a lot of folks think because what they read, it's a saturated market, crowded market, 4 million, 6 million, and then they don't encourage to start one, right? What about the other side of the coin, right? So kind of what you're doing now, right? So do you encourage folks? I guess it's all about depending doing research and knowing the person's audience, right? Do you encourage also folks to kind of bootstrap and like be a guesting on podcasts as well? Do you
Yeah.
you
So,
suggest
so-
that?
yeah, there's a few things to that. What I actually encourage people when they start off is do a few shows. Because one, it'll overcome your fear. Because sometimes people think, oh, I'm nervous. I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't like looking at myself. When you're on a show, and sometimes because a host can be experienced, they can make a person feel relaxed. Whereas you will learn the skill set from then. Plus, every single person is a different form. They have a different structure. They use different platforms. So you can actually pick the best of all the forms that you look at. You can go, oh, is it Zoom? Is it StreamYard? Is it this? Is it that? And then kind of go, you can ask them, have the conversation with the people. So by doing a tour, you're learning from experienced podcasters so that when you come out, irrespective of having a coach or not, because there's so much things out there. Like, for example, the platform you use. I never tell a person which platform to use. That's like me telling you what car to buy. I'll tell them the pros and cons and why I think something is good, but I let the person choose. And the other thing is, it's like buying a car. You can change your car. You can change platforms. Sometimes people think, oh, if I go to Lipson, I can't go to Blueberry or I can't go to Podbean or one of these other ones. And you can.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm almost advising, but you're not gonna walk them through, right? All they say, hey, use Riverside or use right or use that.
Exactly.
Good,
Exactly.
good, man. I saw on your LinkedIn profile you're also a partner in like Brain Gym Fitness since January 2024. What does that? Tell me what does that endeavor or about, basically.
Yeah, so basically my business partner, and I'm actually getting him on a lot of shows as well. That's what I do. He's been like over 25 years doing this. He worked for a big company, KLM, and he's been kind of concentrating on the brain. And I suppose if we look at it as like we're always trying to fit in. So even in school, it's like we grew up, when are you a good, student? When you do what you're told, when you're a good worker, when you do what you're told. And it's kind of stepping away from that, getting into your creative question everything and just keeping the mind active as well. Because, like, I go to the gym, but most people they go to the gym, but do they activate their mind? I mean, if I look at my grandmother, she lived to just a few weeks short of 96. And she used to crosswords all the time and read. And it's like activate your mind. And it's looking at all the different things and, relationships and just anti-aging and everything. So that's what we're doing with the brain gym.
I was on mute. You say that once a day. I love that. Good man. What advice for those on the fence, either starting a podcast or they're too scared to be a guest on a podcast? What advice would you give those folks on the fence?
I suppose I'll talk about those afraid because we mentioned the Toastmasters. Like my shyness was a lot more than what most people would be. When I was younger, going in for the sweet shop, I get my friend to get the sweets. When I was 18, going to the bar, I would like. I know in the States, unfortunately, you have to be 21, but in Ireland, we were allowed to be 18 when we can start drinking. I wouldn't go up to the bar. I'd give my friend the money to get my round when we go out with a few mates. It was like really shy. And I then decided I need to overcome this. And I was late to game. I was about 45 when I decided I really want to overcome the fear of public speaking and joined the Toastmaster, joined another formed one, became a coach, became a DTM, which is Distinguished Toastmaster in 3 years. And why I'm saying that is I told myself a story. I'm shy to becoming, I've done like over 1,600 podcasts. It's like I spoke on stage without getting nervous. I've done over 100 lives. So if you tell yourself a story, I'm too shy, or I won't be good at this, you're already after kind of digging the hole for yourself. Don't do that. Just say, this is going to be good. I'm going to bring something to the table. And it's like, don't fear it. If you don't like, so many people I hear this, I don't like the sound of my voice, or I don't like looking at myself. Why? Do you think everyone else is kind of doing that when you're talking to them? They're not. Like, so just snap out of that and don't fear things. And if there is something that you're weak at, you can buy books, you can watch TEDx, just look at the different things and just learn, and you'll evolve. I mean, you go back, you look at your earlier podcasts. I look at mine and I go, oh, I'm now digitally remastering some of my Polish ones because the sound was so bad, and it's like it's okay. But I still got out the gates and just done it. And you learn from your mistakes and you just get better and better. So don't fear anything, just do it.
I love that. Just do it like Nike, as they
Exactly,
say,
exactly, exactly.
right? Where could people if find more information about either the Podfather or whether it's your shows? Where can people find more information about that?
So all of my six podcasts, if they're watching on the thing, there's a QR code that'll take them to my website, which is roycoughlan.com. And if they're looking for virtual assistance, is va.world.
Roy Coughlan. I love it. Thank you so much for being on my show, and I enjoyed our conversation, and I think it's important. Similar to you, similar to me, I think podcasting is, has gotten me speaking gigs, has gotten me opportunities to be in front of, people that I normally wouldn't be in front of, hasn't had it not been for podcasting. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy. Thanks, Roy Calling everybody. Hey, Dr. B, hope you enjoyed this limited edition Deals and Dreams pilot. I hope you really enjoyed it. Hope you got some insight. And remember, as Mike Lee would say, you are one big deal away from making it happen. All right, take care.